Hey everybody, Spencer here. I'm starting something new. I'm looking to try to find new ways to share the things that I'm interested in, things that I really enjoy, with both people that I already know and connect with, and also hopefully people that I don't know, and because that's one of the great things about being a fan. So. Just to give people a little bit of background on me, I am pushing 40. I'll be 40 in a few weeks, and I've been collecting comics since I was about 13. Started with the X-Men, and then quickly started to discover comics, more and more comics from Image, from DC, from all over the spectrum. As I kept reading, and I do keep coming back to superheroes. I love a lot of stuff. But what I want to hopefully be doing is posting some videos on a pretty regular basis. Want to try to share some of the things that I'm currently reading. Want to share sort of how we share our fandom in our house with our daughter. So with this week though, this video, I thought we'd just start off kind of simple with just going through some of the books, some of the comics that I read this week, and what I thought of each of them, and kind of give you some recommendations for comics to check out if you're a regular, or even if you're not really used to reading comics. One thing I do want to mention is my guys at Westfield Comics. That's where I've gotten my comics on a regular basis since I was in middle school, and my parents were driving me to the comic book store, and that's where I'm still shopping today. Great staff, great selection, just a really cool place, and want to try through these videos, hopefully bring a little bit of my Wednesday discussions with the people at the comic book shop out to hopefully the people that are watching this video. So let's start off with the first book of the week, Batman 52, by Tom King and Lee Weeks and Elizabeth Breitweiser. This book is awesome. I would highly recommend it to people. Little background for people that may not be reading regularly. Batman and Catwoman were engaged to be married. I was one of the people that was super, super excited for that. And of course, in typical comic book fashion, it didn't end up happening. And I almost swore off the book, but Tom King is such a talented writer. Lee Weeks is an amazing artist. So I thought it was definitely worth giving it a try. And the wedding not going through is having some big time ramifications, some lasting ramifications for Bruce, for Batman. This issue is great. He's on jury duty in a case that Bruce is on jury duty in a case that involves Batman. And he's starting to take a look at some of his motives. He's starting to take a look at maybe going too far and venting some of his frustrations for the way things went with Catwoman out on Mr. Freeze. It's really good. I think it's got some interesting things to say about the justice system, and it's just got some gorgeous art. So I would highly recommend that people give this one a look, because it is pretty spectacular. I'm just trying to get to one more page to show off a little bit more of that art. So again, everybody knows Batman, but if you want to see a new side of Batman, I would definitely recommend this title. Great buy from DC Comics. Another DC Comics title that I wanted to mention is Justice League 5. So you'll see Cyborg on the cover. This is the variant cover by Jim Lee. I'm a huge Jim Lee fan. I have been since I was just a kid, and had a chance to meet him a few months ago. Awesome guy, incredible artist. But this is the variant cover for the comic. The cover, the normal cover, features a number of DC villains, and this issue is actually very villain focused. It's a real deep dive into the psychology of Lex Luthor. He'd been kind of playing the hero lately, the last few years in DC Comics. But he's made a big switch in the new Justice League, and he's sort of back to his evil ways. But I think the way that James Tynion and Scott Snyder really explore that. It's so well done. And the art is by Doug Mahnke, who has just been a monster in the comic book world for years and years. Just one of the most reliable artists out there. Really good stuff. They are putting together quite the book here. So would definitely recommend to go pick up Justice League number 5. And my take was that it read better the second time that I read it. The first time you're sort of taking things in. The second time you're able to appreciate a lot of that nuance. Just really good stuff. I would check it out. All right, switching to another comic book company now. We're going to go to Marvel with The Immortal Hulk number 4. Awesome series. This series is incredible. You've got Al Ewing, who's writing it. You've got Joe Bennett, who has been a long-time comic book artist, but I feel like this is really his spotlight series. This is his chance to sort of show what he can do. They're doing some really cool things with the Hulk. So to give a little bit of background on me and the Hulk, that was a comic that I have collected on and off through the years, was really big into it as a kid, kind of went away from it a little bit as an adult. But this series is great. It takes things to a really horror type influence. There's a little bit of the 70s TV show thrown in there too, in terms of a reporter that's trying to get to the bottom of this, that's trying to find the Hulk. Just a really, really good read. Solid art, and I love how the story is is building, and you're getting a sense of that there's a bigger picture. But in each issue, you get a satisfying story, and issue 4 is no exception there. All right, headed back to DC. Mr. Miracle, number 10, another Tom King comic with the great Mitch Gerads. This comic is something else. I think this is one of those comics that people are going to be talking about for a long time to come. I do want to mention this incredible Dark Side cover by... shoot, that's embarrassing. I can't quite think of his name right now. Nick Darrington. He is amazing. Nick Darrington, one of my favorite artists, although I kind of forgot his name for a second there, but Nick is amazing. This is maybe one of the best covers with Darkseid in it. The great thing about this comic, Mr. Miracle, is that it is just this unheard of blend of fantasy and this sort of myth of epic proportions, but then very much dealing with the mundane. So you follow Mr. Miracle and his wife, Barda, around, and you get to see, yes, they're fighting this big cosmic war, but at the end of the day, they're parents to a newborn. And for any parents out there, it's just super relatable, some of the stuff that they go through. And there's a scene in the book that really hit closer to home towards the end. I don't want to mention it to spoil anything, but just really means a lot to me. Tom King, he just has yet to let me down in a book, and that Tom King, Mitch Gerads team is one that's just hard to top. They just, month in and month out, this book, or whenever it comes out, it's always fantastic. And I think this is one that people are going to be talking about for years to come. So Mr. Miracle number 10, definitely recommend it. All right, my final book for the week that I wanted to recommend, and this would be, I think if I had to do a pick of the week, I think it would be this one. Astonishing X-Men number 14 by Matthew Rosenberg and Greg Land. Lots and lots of fun. So you can see from the cover, there's some X-Men that maybe haven't been seen for a while, like Havoc, like Dazzler. You've got Beast in there. I haven't necessarily enjoyed Beast for the last few years, but Matthew Rosenberg is writing him in a really, really fun way. And in addition, you get to see Havoc sort of rebuilding his team of X-Men from the ground up. He's had a rough go of it the last few years, but he's always been a fan favorite, and especially a favorite of mine. I think if there's one character, though, that probably steals the show in the comic, it's Colossus. So for people that follow X-Men, he's had a really rough time lately as well. He was scheduled to be married to Kitty Pryde, Shadowcat. It did not happen. Instead, Gambit and Rogue got married, which was really satisfying, I think, for a lot of fans. I loved seeing that. But this issue sees where Colossus is after the worst has happened, and really takes him in kind of a fun new direction. So I definitely recommend this series. I think if sometimes Greg Land takes knocks for drawing sort of overly cheesecakey art, but I think he's really kind of reining that in with this book, which is great to see. It's just really fun. It's really funny. I'm not sure where it's going, but Matthew Rosenberg and Greg Land are doing a great job with this title. So there you go. There's a couple of books from this week that I thought I'd share with people, and hopefully I'll be sharing another one of these videos soon, and we can talk some more about what I'm enjoying or what my thoughts are on maybe new entertainment. Just trying to feel things out a little bit, see what I think of this. But right now, I'm just kind of having fun sharing with everybody. So hopefully this gets in front of some people and we can start having conversations. That'll do it for tonight. But thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.